So many things wrong with the dairy. Almost 80 to 90% of the farmland makes the food only for our domesticated animals so that we can eat them, drink them, whatever. Grotesque thing that comes out of the animal industry is this called lagoons. Meanwhile, they will tweak the molecule again. The best thing is not to drink milk. All the forests are being destroyed. It is really pathetic. The situation is even worse in South Asians. And it's unfortunate there was no formal training in medical college on the basis of nutrition. So the industry is so cunning. 98% of the people I asked, including doctors, believe me, including doctors, did not give me the right answer. We are suffering and nobody cares about you. Who cares about you the most? Not even doctors, not even pharmacists, not even cardiologists, not even government, not even the corporations. Only you should care about yourself.
Who is winning? The industry. This is happening. There is empire of the dairy industry and empire of meat industry. Hand in hand, they are doing all this crime, pulling the people. If you are drinking the milk, you are the part of this crime. Welcome to the Raw Foodies family meeting. And today's topic is what is wrong with dairy. Dr. Shrenik Shah is going to throw the light on all the information. And let's start grasping all the information from Dr. Shah. Dr. Shrenik Shah, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. This is a topic that's really, I'm passionate about it. And for last 20, 30 years, I have spent on this field alone to really explain to people. Of course, first I grasped it very well. And now, and being a medical doctor, that I've been practiced for 37 years and in a primary care, so like always came in contact with the people. And I really meant to change the outcome of their lives in a positive territory. So I spent a lot of time doing this, and it definitely changed my life. And I'm hoping that it will change your life too, because there is so many things wrong with the dairy. So we will start. I will present in the form of problems, and there are 7 problems I'm going to present to you. And when I reach to the 7th problem, you will find the real solution for all the other problems. So let's start with problem number 1. The problem number 1 with dairy is cholesterol. And not many people know what is cholesterol. And including me, I did not know what was cholesterol, even though I went through the med school, practicing, treating cholesterol. I did not know what is cholesterol. And it's unfortunate there was no formal training in medical college on the basis of nutrition, which should be geared towards the real problem of the society, that it can be solved. So I am practicing, prescribing and everything, and suddenly it just stuck to me. What is cholesterol? I had no idea. So I had to ask Dr. Google, unfortunately. This question I have asked almost 100 people. I hardly get 2 people who are correct. 98% of the people I asked, including doctors, believe me, including doctors, did not give me the right answer. Only 2 kids were right about their answers because they were biochemistry students. And so they knew what cholesterol is. So what Dr. Google taught me, what is cholesterol? In the answer, it gave me this description, that cholesterol is an organic molecule. It is a sterol. It's like a fatty molecule. And it is biosynthesized by all animal cells. That means it is in every single animal cell. The cell wall that is made in our body and any animal's body is made out of cholesterol. So the whole animal kingdom is made out of cholesterol. We are made out of cholesterol. So are the cows and pigs and chickens and snakes and frogs and everything. You draw blood from any of these animals or all animals, you will find cholesterol. So it's really an eye-opener for me. I said, that means it doesn't matter whether you eat a lean meat or regular meat or or chicken leg or chicken breast or chicken thighs. It doesn't matter. Even if you eat a brain of an animal, you will get cholesterol because every single cell of animal's body is made out of cholesterol. So what does it mean? What it means in every time you eat meat, including red meat, chicken, fish, lamb, goat, you are eating cholesterol. Every time you drink milk or eat cheese, butter, yogurt, ghee, you are consuming cholesterol. Now, by doing this, you are only adding cholesterol to your body because we are animals, so we are self-sustained. Cows doesn't have to go and drink another cow's milk to gain cholesterol. We don't have to consume cholesterol. There is no need for it because our body is smart enough with cosmic intelligence that we make our own cholesterol. And what do we do with that cholesterol? We make new cells. So every new cell that has to be made in our body, we need cholesterol. If I want to poison anybody, I have to give them a pill that will bring their cholesterol to zero. They will be dead. They would not survive because they cannot make new cells. Our body is nothing but a continuous recycling of new cells and shedding the old cells. This is how we go on. And until we get old and reach to a point that our mechanism stops functioning, cannot make new cholesterol, we die. This is how our life story is. But who told you that you need to consume cholesterol? And yet you go on the nutritional information on cholesterol, the government says there is RDA. You know what is RDA? Recommended daily allowance. Recommended daily allowance? Why do we need cholesterol? I, for myself, have been without cholesterol for last 30 years almost. I'm feeling fine. Running marathons, climbing the mountains, hiking everywhere. What is wrong with the government? There is something wrong with the government. Their pockets, the corporations are feeding them because if this is revealed to the general public, nobody will be eating cholesterol. They would rather not eat the cholesterol than take the pills for cholesterol. So this is exactly what we're doing. We need to open up and we need to open our eyes because everything that comes from animal kingdom is giving you cholesterol. So the first thing you should do is stop eating cholesterol. Simple as that. So 1 glass of milk, 24 milligrams of cholesterol. 1 cup of cheese, your favorite pizza, 256 milligrams of cholesterol. Cholesterol in yogurt, cholesterol in ghee, cholesterol in every animal food. But there is a solution for it. All the plants have zero cholesterol. So I searched again to Dr. Google, what are the plant cells made out of? They are made of cellulose. Cellulose is fiber, zero cholesterol, no cholesterol. So there is like a watertight compartment between animal cells and plant cells. If you switch from animal kingdom to plant kingdom, you will stop consuming cholesterol. Simple as that. So whatever additional cholesterol you were harboring in your blood will disappear. Believe it or not, this was a total eye-opener. I would argue with my patients. Patients rather would argue with me. Say, doc, come on. Cashew has cholesterol, right? Almond has cholesterol, right? Nope. I pick up your phone and you Google right away. Any plant-based food has zero cholesterol because the cell walls are totally different mechanism. It's made out of fiber, the tree bark. The fiber is actually good for you. It brings your cholesterol down. But animals don't have any fiber. They don't bring your cholesterol down. They give you cholesterol. So milk is a product of animal kingdom. It doesn't matter what you consume from the animal kingdom. So this really got fixed in my mind, and I started looking for some right opportunity to tell people that you really need to switch. Suddenly, one lady came to see me. What we are doing right now is eating this: milk, cheese, butter, sweets, cookies, candies, everything, right? So with this background in my mind, suddenly this lady with the initials MS came to me. She was 62-year-old. She traveled 3.5 hours to come see me. And I asked her, why did you do that? She says, well, my mother lives in your next town and she doesn't come to you, but she has heard that you're a good doctor. and I'm having this asthmatic bronchitis, so can you take care of it? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So we did, but then she says, but I have another problem. My bad cholesterol, look at her numbers, LDL, sticky cholesterol, 173. I said, that's pretty high. And she had, her ex-boyfriend was Italian. So they just had come back recently just from Italian trip, and they ate everything Italy makes. And you know what they do. So all non-vegetarian foods and everything. So her cholesterol obviously was high. So I said, what did your doctor say? He says, well, Mary, you have to go for medications. You have to take statin. And she was single. She was not really a single body. She was not overweight, obese, nothing. But cholesterol was through the roof. So I said, well, your doctor is correct. With these kind of numbers, you're going to be heading for a heart attack. But he says, I don't want to take a pill. I said, did you get a second opinion? He says, yes, I went to an endocrine specialist. And I said, what did he say? He said, same thing. So here I am. I have heard so much about you. I don't want to take a pill. Give me some trick. What to do to bring my cholesterol down without medications. So I said, you came to a different doctor. I said, if you try to catch something and if it runs away, what would you do? If I ask these questions to 100 people, 99% of the people say, we'll run after. Our whole life is running, getting something, catching something. We never think that not running is also an option. We force ourselves to go out of our way to run after animals. Animals have legs. They run away. Why are they running? To save their life. The plants don't run away. Trees don't run away. The nature is giving you a clear message that eat plant-based food. It's something simple as that. You don't have to run after animals. You don't have to run after somebody who is trying to save their life. How much is your life important to you? So I explained to her, and she smiled. Believe it or not, so she gave me the answer. The 1% she was in that, she was smart. She said, I will not run after. I will let it go. So letting go also was a choice that not many people take. 99% said, we will run after. So she listened to me. And in 6 weeks, look at the numbers, her LDL dropped from 173 to 68. 105 points, no medications. So she was heavily into language. She used to go to Italy to teach English to Italians, right? So she was also well versed with our language, so she texted me. She went to one of the local supermarket and she got her cholesterol done. And this is what she texted me. Dhanyavad, shukriya. So she must know our words. She says, my cholesterol has reduced by 105 points in 6 weeks. Thanks for your wisdom and great advice. This wisdom I'm sharing with whoever is listening, whoever is out there, to live the life wisely. This is my advice. Do not run after animals. If you don't run, somebody else is running for you. You just don't know that. And that's where I'm heading to the next problem. So pay attention. So another problem is heart disease. Heart disease so rampant all over the world. When I used to practice, and not practice, even doing residency, we used to get heart attacks in 60s and 70s. Once I started practicing in 1986. I started seeing heart attacks in 50s and 60s, then 40s. Then one day I got a call from a pediatrician in my hometown. He says, Shrenik, how do you take care of this heart attacks? And the cholesterol, because now I have children coming with obesity. And now diabetes, she did not even know how to treat diabetes in pediatrics. So now in pediatric age group, now we're getting high cholesterols and obesity and diabetes. So heart attack is one of the major culprit for killing people. If you look at the statistics, it's staggering. 1 person dies every 36 seconds in United States right now from heart attack. This is the data from CDC. 1 in every 4th death is from heart disease. Right now, we're spending $219 billion every year just for heart disease, which should not exist. If you go off the animal foods. Not only we have that heart disease, but all the other diseases also. But the thing is that the situation is even worse in South Asians. There was a study came out called Masala study by Dr. Kanaya in California. She did a study on the first generation South Asians. And South Asians, mind well, is not just India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Nepal, all those things. They found out that 30% of the people all over the world die of a heart disease. But out of those 30%, 60% are South Asians. That's us. And so this particular study was very alarming for South Asian community, because all the suggestions, there were recommendations were based on a cross-section of United States, which included black population, white population, Chinese populations, all that. But that data was very skewed. But when you notice the South Asians, it has totally different thing. So it's much worse in South Asians than even people living in the United States. But as it is, the heart disease is still horribly bad in United States alone. So $219 billion we spend on heart disease. What do? This is what we do. We keep checking people's blood tests, checking for cholesterol, liver enzymes, blood sugars. We give them statins, beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, all these medications, blood thinners. And these medications also have their own side effects. They give myopathies, muscle pains, neuropathies, high sugars, all statins raise your blood sugar, and it leads to hemorrhages. Some people die from hemorrhages, from complications from all these medications. Is it worth it? We perform coronary artery bypass surgeries, 500,000 every year. But the surgery itself is quite invasive, where they have to crack your chest open. 15,000 people die, 3% mortality, just from the surgery itself. We do angioplasties, 1 million a year, and the fatality rate is 1.2%. So 12,000 people plus 15, 27,000 people die, not from the disease, from our treatments alone, which is really, really shocking. And yet we keep on going. We don't think there is anything else to do. Keep consuming whatever is coming in the market. We need to wake up. All these things can be prevented with a whole food plant-based diet. Cholesterol can be prevented, like we got an example from my patient. Heart disease can definitely be prevented. There is one Dr. Esselstyn, who is the chief of cardiology in the Cleveland Clinic. He had patients. He did a study on patients, almost 200 patients. They were on the verge of going into coronary artery bypass surgery. He convinced people to change your diet. You will not need surgery. Here's cases after cases. It showed a remarkable difference. And the people went on a whole food plant-based diet. None of them had, a single patient did not have a heart attack. So it is there, but this is the reason why is it there. Again, diabetes is another problem. That milk has connection with diabetes also. A lot of people don't know that, because milk sugar is called lactose. That makes the milk a little sweet. This lactose goes in our body and splits into two things, glucose and galactose. So glucose is sugar. Galactose is a special glycoprotein. It stores in your liver. As soon as you need, it immediately converts into sugar again. So 40% of the milk calories comes from sugar. So it's heavily contributing to type 2 diabetes. It also has a connection with mother consuming dairy products and giving the birth to a child who has type 1. So it's all contributing to other environmental factors, of course. So there is a close link between milk and diabetes. Now comes the fourth problem, is cancer. I am going fast because I want to cover as much as information, but believe me, this is only 10% of what I can talk on dairy. Dr. Campbell, he did a study in China, actually, China study, which is one of the biggest nutritional study done ever in the world. He studied the indigenous population of Chinese in the villages, and then he studied the cosmopolitan population in Shanghai and Beijing. And he found huge difference about cancer. For example, 1 out of 38 women were getting breast cancer in the villages, Chinese villages. But in Shanghai and Beijing, under the effect of our Western sophisticated diet, they were getting 1 out of 8 women were getting breast cancer. Because the milk has a protein called casein, and it is the 87%. It promotes all the stages of cancer. So this has a direct connection with the milk and cancer. On top of that, there were a lot of things that's being done to the cows before they give the milk and the milk comes into your house. There are a lot of injections being given to the animals, and one of the enzyme, there are 2 kinds of enzyme, which I'll go to first one, which is injected, diethylstilbestrol. It was routinely being injected to the cows. Why? To increase the milk production, so that they will have more milk so they can make more good business, until they found out that diethylstilbestrol causes breast cancer. So now it is banned. But America is smart. So the industry is so cunning. So now they tweak the molecule. Instead of diethylstilbestrol, they'll make it triethyl or tetraethyl. I'm just giving an example. Still, the process is going on. The estrogen mimicking compounds are being injected to the cows routinely. If you see a dairy cow, she will be walking around with her udders rubbing against the ground because they're full of milk. A dairy cow gives almost 3 times the milk compared to a wild cow that will give in nature. It's shocking. But all these hormones come into our body. And what do? What does the estrogen do? It stimulates the sex organs, all sex organs. Estrogen causes breast cancer. Estrogen causes cervical cancers, uterine fibroids. All these things, they pay. The females pay the price. There used to be, when 1980s, 1 out of 10 women in USA were getting breast cancer. Now we are 1 out of 7 women. So many cancers are so rampant, and direct connection goes to what is being injected to the cows. But there are no studies, because studies are not cheap. They has to go on for decades before they can come to a conclusion. Meanwhile, they will tweak the molecule again. The best thing is not to drink milk. There is also another chemical present in the milk, which is called IGF-1. It's a busy slide, don't worry about it. It's called insulin-like growth factor. What it does, it is naturally present in everybody's milk. All mother's milk contains IGF-1, including humans. What does it do? It goes and into the fetus baby, the baby, that is infant, and it will stimulate their sex hormones, sex centers. So because a female baby has to become a woman and the male baby has to become a man. Same thing in cows, a cow and a bull. So this differentiation is helped by this IGF-1. But where is the problem? IGF-1 in a cow's milk is the same as IGF-1 in humans, because we both are mammals. So our IGF-1 is exactly identical. So when we drink milk, what does it do? Our sex centers are already stimulated. Okay, babies might need it. That's a different discussion altogether. But adults, why are we drinking? We are drinking, and this IGF-1 is stimulating our sex centers. So yes, breast cancer, cervical cancers, uterine fibroids, but also prostate cancer. People consuming heavily dairy is known to have 11% rise in prostate cancer. It's horrible. Everybody talks about, treating cancer, cancer cure, cancer, donate this, pink ribbon, everywhere. Nobody talks about preventing cancer. But that's America is. In prevention, there is no medicine. There is no money. Nobody makes money in preventing a disease. Yet we are the sufferers. So everybody keeps on donating, keep running all over 5 miles race and 5K race and this and that and all that to raise the money. Where is it going? For treatment. One chemotherapy injection will cost you $15,000, for example. It's fine. That's why our insurance cost keeps on going up. But prevention is the wisdom of the East. We come from the East. We need to talk about prevention. This is the way to prevent. So, like I said, the milk related with sugars, hormones. Hormones also lead to early puberty. I know in India, there used to be 13, 14 age. The girls used to start having their first menstrual period. Now, 11, 12 in this country. Many years back, I had seen a 9-year-old girl was pregnant. 9-year-old girl. Inside, her whole psyche is that of a girl. And now she's having her periods and she was found pregnant. So all these things are indirectly affecting. Bush women were known to have only 110, 120 menstrual cycles in their lifetime. Now, average civilized women are getting 450 cycles. More cycles means more exposure to estrogen. And more estrogens means all these cancers, breast cancers, uterine cancers, cervical cancers, prostate cancers, everything. So all these things are happening. We are suffering and nobody cares about you. Who cares about you the most? Not even doctors, not even pharmacists, not even cardiologists, not even government, not even the corporations. Only you should care about yourself. So hormones, one of the most staggering and a grotesque method they are using in animal farming is, and this has been going on for a long time, they try to extract milk from a woman 300 days out of a year, out of 365 days. How is it possible? This is what happens. Normally in humans, when mother delivers the baby, her menstrual periods stop because she's lactating. This is a typical case scenario. But cows do not have that opportunity. One, they don't feed their babies. Their milk is taken away, sold in the market. But on top of that, they are not free from pregnancy. They are impregnated artificially while they are lactating. One side, the milk is being taken away. The other side, they are artificially inseminated to become pregnant. Now, there is a big difference between pregnancy and not being pregnant. Not being pregnant compared to the pregnancy has a normal levels of estrogen. When you are pregnant, you have a tremendous rise in estrogen. Body makes it. So imagine a pregnant cow is lactating, the milk is taken out of a pregnant cow, it will have astronomical high levels of estrogen hormones. That's why the Europe had banned the American cheese from import. And now I think they are also getting corrupted like that because they were against this practice. How can you imagine you being pregnant and lactating at the same time? This is the most grotesque thing done in the animal industry. This was taken from Harvard Magazine reports. Next is environment. Environment is a major factor, as we all know, global warming, greenhouse gases, everything. Why is it happening? And what has that to do with the dairy industry or the animal industry? This is what has happened. We are so crazy about our domesticated animals, so we keep on feeding them. Animals like us also need to be fed. So we need more and more farms to feed them. And to get more farms, what do? We destroy the forests. And now we are fostering the growth of these domesticated animals so much that look at the ratio. This is a scientific calculations, and they found out that wild mammals that used to be in the wild all over, only 60 million tons left, total weight of mammals. Humans even are not much compared to, we're going to talk about rest. 390, if you add up, is 450 million tons of mammals. And how much is the domesticated animals? 630 million. They keep on exploding. Their population is going all over the world. And it's not even leaving room for wild animals. They are being destroyed because they don't have any habitat. All the forests are being destroyed. It is really pathetic. If you look at this picture, it will tell you that. Look at the right side. It's all our domesticated animals, which occupies the biomass we're talking about. Is so much biomass compared to humans and wild animals combined. It's going to be a time, another few years, a few decades, we won't have any animals left in the wild. It'll be just us and the cows. Horrible. This is what is leading to mass extinction number 6. The definition mass extinction is when anything over 75% of the species get destroyed. And it has happened 5 times, but it was created by nature. The next one will be created by us. And it's already going. It's definitely going to happen. It is not even preventable. This, I'm not going to get into detail too much, but just because it's very extensive explanation. It's called rule of 10. When one organism wants to eat another organism, it can take only 10%. Like chicken would not be able to feed only on just one stalk of wheat. It will need 10 stalks. But then a fox cannot be sufficient with one chicken. It needs 10 chickens. And lion will need 10 foxes, 100 chickens, like that. So this is how, and 1,000. So more and more land is basically needed higher you are on a food chain. This I picked up from 8th grade biology textbook when I was studying with my son. My son is 40-year-old now. This fact has been noticed that the more, and even the book said, if you become vegetarian, in those days there was no word veganism. If you become vegetarian, you become like chicken. So we need only 10% of the farmland which is being used right now. Almost 80 to 90% of the farmland makes the food only for our domesticated animals so that we can eat them, drink them, whatever. So it is very, the statistics is horrible. If you look at it, look at the state of India. We export, one of the 5 top exporters of beef, one of them is India. And yet, look at the next graph, we are the least consumer of beef. So what are we doing? We are the highest consumer of milk. But because we call ourselves religious, we don't want to eat them. So we export them. But either way, they're dying. Whether they're dying here and being sent out, or they die here and you consume. What is the difference? They still die. So it is our insatiable demand for milk has put us in a quagmire of a very weird situation that we are the highest consumer of milk. At the same time, we are the least consumer of beef. So India is the top in the world in producing the milk. And then, of course, other countries are after that. The animal industry contributes about 15% to the greenhouse gases. It's even more than the automobile industry. All the cars combined in the world does not produce greenhouse gases as much as the animal industry does. And like I said, 15%. And greenhouse gases come more from animal foods than plant-based foods. The grains which are produced in US, which go, of course, feeding to the animals, if everybody went on a whole food plant-based diet, that feed which is being given to the cows could feed, or all other animals, pigs and sheep and goats and whatever, it could feed 1 billion people. That's how much grain is being grown just to support the animals. It's crazy. Look at how much water is needed to grow 1 pound of tofu, 300 gallons. 1 pound of beef, 1,800 gallons. Water is another commodity. We think that there is soy. Instead of giving a green pasture, which normally, that's why the grass-fed milk is considered more prized, because they are fed grass, because which is not nutritious. So what happening to us, we eat a lot of carbs and we eat a lot of calorie-dense foods like soy and corn, which are being given to the cows. So cows become obese, produce more milk, good for everyone. But 80% of the soy production in the whole world goes to the animals, only 20% for us. If one cow to make 1 gallon of milk needs 144 gallons of water, and it has to eat 100 pounds of food every day. So this is really pathetic. If you look at this bottom line, 77% of the global farming land is used for animals. So we are occupying more and more of the earth. There is no room left for anybody else. At some point, all forests will be gone. This is the forest that is right now, rainforest. It's a beautiful, beautiful creation of nature. And what are we doing to it? Burning them. Why? to make the soy fields, corn fields. We grow the food so that we can feed the animals. We don't care about the animals and the biodiversity in the rainforest. Our consumption of milk is supporting this. Literally, 150 acres in Brazil are being destroyed every minute. By the time we'll be done with this talk, almost 5,000 acres will be gone. It's really, really pathetic, and it's all human-driven. It has nothing to do with nature. The last grotesque thing that comes out of the animal industry is this called lagoons. I don't think most of the people know about what is lagoons. If you fly over North Carolina, you will see lagoons everywhere. And they have a nice pink color. You will be so impressed that you would want to build a house next to it. Don't even think about it. You know what these lagoons are? Lagoons are the collection of whatever comes out of the animal farms. If it includes the animals' pee, it includes animals' poop, all the fertilizers which are being used, all the outrun that has to be, because there is no drainage system. We have our toilets and our drainage goes to the ocean. That's too expensive to do that. So what they do is they create these lagoons where even the excreta of the animals, if the animals are butchered, the blood goes in there, pus cell goes in, everything goes into these lagoons. And this cannot be made too deep. They can be only 6 feet deep. So what they do is they make them wide. So they occupy more land. And what happens to these lagoons? Let's see. Once all these things accumulate over there, the algae start blooming. Algae is what gives this red color. If you remember, in Florida not too long ago, there was a red toxic algae. Where did that come from? Animal industry. There are so many bacteria growing there because it's full of feces and everything, E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria, which are normally present. And there are growth hormones which are injected to the cows, antibiotics which were given to the cows. All those things end up in these lagoons. And their manure, whatever they pass, animal blood, horrible, naturally there will be horrible odors. There are people living in the areas, but they don't care about them. So a lot of times underprivileged people end up finding house nearby, and they have to put up all these things. And methane is another gas. So all these gas emissions and everything, these are the problems with lagoons, which some of the scientists call them cesspools of shame. This is what we have created. This is the best thing we can create out of what we want to do. So it causes air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. Sometimes there is a lot of rain, it will overflood, and then go into the regular drinking supply, the streams and rivers and all this will be flooded. People living nearby has been known to get lymphoma, leukemia, all those things from these chemicals which are being used. The number 10 is the most eye-opener. It is called lagoon and spray filled system. You know what that means? They cannot do anything about it, because by the time this lagoon fills up, then they have to dig up another lagoon, and that's too expensive. So what they do is they just have created their own criteria that, okay, now everything is clean. We can spray it back to the crops as a nutrition, as a fertilizer, organic fertilizer. But this fertilizer contains a lot of bacteria, and you spray on it, and of course the food that comes to us, even though it's plant-based, is all contaminated. That's why we get a lot of time to time that we get these outbreaks come of Listeria, people die from it, and all those things are because of the contamination of animal farms going back into the plants. And these plants we consume. So that's why we have contaminated lettuce and romaine lettuce, and that's why time to time government to say that don't consume this, don't consume that. But ultimately the source is this lagoon system. And yet this is what we're doing. We keep consuming as if there is no tomorrow. We try to tickle our taste buds, but we don't know the grotesque picture going behind all the food we are tasting. Yes, it's a sacrifice that you have to walk away from the foods you like, but when you think about all these things, including your own health, it's worth it, not these foods. Bottom line is we are not in the environment, we are the environment. The last question I'm going to have is, again, I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's on cruelty. All these animals have 5 senses. They have intimate sensations within them. All sentient beings have connections with their children, with their siblings. They have emotions just like you and me. When you go to the cow, it knows that you're coming to slaughter it. It runs away. Cow mother licking on her own baby. These are natural moments, but it doesn't last long because babies are taken away. Why? Because babies make the best meal there is. That makes the veal, and veal is prized very high in fancy restaurants, you know. So this might be the last time the mother will be licking her baby. Look at this. The babies are being sent to the slaughterhouse. Look at the mother running after them. These are normal instincts like you and I also carry. Why do we have to torture them? This is the normal life they all live. Can you imagine living like this for a whole life? We don't even want to get locked in one room, let alone under the harnesses. She has no room to move. We steal their milk. And there is another story, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I was in Kilimanjaro, was visiting before that. We went to Maasai village and one of my friends wanted to milk a cow. But they gave him a container to milk the cow, but he did not succeed. The milk would not come out. And I asked these people this question. Most of the people don't know. What happened was there was no calf. So they brought the calf. Calf started suckling on one side. That's exactly is in the picture. And the milk started flowing on the other side. So who does the milk belong to? Not to you, not to me, to the calf. And yet we are too smart. So we tie the legs of the cow and keep on stealing milk. Is this a giving mode that we are all were human beings on this earth to be in? With karuna, compassion, what happened to those things? We don't see it. So we think that it doesn't exist. This is the life. Last one, and then I'll finish the talk. You see this balad, right? In India, these are male bulls. Bulls are very strong, very powerful. How are they plowing these fields? What happens to them? How are they become so docile? Nobody knows, or not many people know. And it is grotesque, so be careful. They are neutralized. This is the real picture of a bull. You cannot control it. They are so powerful. We are humans. We are nothing compared to them. But what removes their power is this. Their testicles are removed. After that, they have become docile and we can make them plow the fields. Why do we have to consume the products of such a cruel industry? Yet, we keep on going. I keep bringing these slides to remind you what you're enjoying, but there is a big price someone else is paying. This is a real wild cow. Go and milk this cow in the wild. We saw this in Kruger National Park when we were doing safari. A milk of a cow is only for her baby. Milk of a rhino is for her baby also. Human milk goes to the human's baby. Elephant's milk goes to the elephant's baby. This is how the physiological nature has created. There is the biggest problem that I had promised I'll show you. If you understand this and live your life accordingly, all the other 6 problems will disappear. And that problem is this. This is the crux of all our problems. Only humans drink milk of another animal, and that also for the whole life. Does that make sense? It's totally unphysiological. If you stop doing this, all the other problems will disappear, and you will contribute towards something for somebody's life. Mahavir said, one should not injure, subjugate, enslave, torture, or kill any living beings, living organisms, and sentient being. And look at the confidence is saying, this doctrine of non-violence is immaculate, immutable, and eternal. Even after 10,000 years, this will be still true. We may end up with the Third World War. Who knows? We become extinct. But this eternal law will never disappear. Even Bhagavad Gita, that everybody claims that, oh, Krishna ate yogurt, this and that. Then that's when he was a kid. He was being fed by his mother. He didn't know. He didn't have a choice in that matter. But Gita was delivered when he was in his highest state of connecting with the consciousness. He was God, literally talking when the Gita was coming out of him. What does he say on the 9th chapter? Give me, whoever with a loving devotion offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will gladly accept it. It doesn't say milk. It doesn't say meat either. Gita is telling, Krishna is telling. So last quote I have from Eldridge Cleaver, if you are not a part of a solution, you are a part of the problem. So either you are one or the other. There is no hinge in between. So ditch dairy, please. Thank you. There are some documentaries I have listed. What the Health, Cowspiracy, Game Changers, Forks Over Knives, Seaspiracy, and Maka Doodh. That came exclusively from India. I would recommend to follow this, and I'm sure Akshay Bhai can share this with you, and that can open your eyes. It opened my eyes, and I hope it opens the eyes of the world.
Definitely. Yes.
Thank you. I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Before question, I just want to show you just a couple of minutes to to reinforce what you said. I totally 100% agree, and I would like Rupesh to show one small clip. He is going to share the clip, and then we will open question answer for the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
Kevin. Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game.
So this is the advertisement this morning I saw on the TV.
We are.
Okay.
And I say, let me give this to Rupesh to share it. And then now, it says we are winning. Who is winning? The industry.
Of course.
They are fooling the people, and industry is winning. And Rupesh, show the next slide. Okay, here the advertisement says from the happy cows, and here they stole my milk and killed my baby, and that is the reality.
Yes.
Now, I want to see this. Okay, anybody who is stealing anything, we call them thief. So it starts with the, stealing the milk. The next thing is from the, thief, when it becomes habitual, it becomes criminal. So that's he's doing this, crime again and again. The next step is from criminal, he become gangster. So he's not only doing himself, but making the group of them. So that becomes gangster. From gangster, he or she becomes mafia. It's not only just few people, but many more people they are doing this, and it become mafia. From mafia, it becomes a cartel. Cartel is something, it is like they are franchising the business, organized business, or any bad thing, we say cartel. And from cartel, it is a syndication. It's like, I'm not here trying to teach you the crime chronology, but here this is what is happening. From the, the syndication is across country. It is not now within the country. And from the syndication, it is then empire. Empire means is now all over the world, people are doing this. This is happening. There is empire of the dairy industry and empire of meat industry, hand in hand. They are doing all this crime, pulling the people. And who are the people? They think it's okay. But I see this way. If you are drinking the milk, you are the part of this crime. That's all.
Not only that, what happens is subconsciously, because once they capture your mental retail space, literally, then you become their agent. So wherever you go, you keep spreading, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, you enjoy this and that. It makes you more and more dull and less aware of this cruelty, what is going on. And this is how they spread. So once they capture your mind, you become their agent wherever they go.
Right. So, we have to wake up all the people who are consuming milk unknowingly. I used it. 30 years back, half of my life, I used the milk. I was not aware of it. But, now it's like that's the history. And I want to be part of the solution, not a part of the problem. So that's the thing. We want to make sure nobody consume it. Now, the floor is open for questions. Anybody have question to Dr. Shah? No question? Priyanka also not asking question today?
Because stop drinking milk anyway now. So
I never drank milk. I was never in favor of milk. Milk was always a thing which was forced to me. So I'm not a big fan of milk. Whatever Dr. Shah has told, I get a validation to tell people to spread his words that why you should not drink milk. So I got all my answers. Why my body never liked milk.
It is committing a crime. Just anybody ask question. If if you want to commit a crime, drink milk.
What I understood was the body senses what you want, and people want you to have it because you don't have that nutrient in your body so that you can give, but your body is not accepting it. So you will start rejecting that with the milk. So exactly the mind starts draining out. You start to think, okay, let's do it, because once you start taking it, it will start saying, accept it. But that's the way you have to say no. What I understood. My journey was I should have told no, not accepting the milk. That is where I needed to be very particular on it.
Yes, Dr. Shah.
Yeah, yes, there is two court system there. One courts that we all know in our society, there is a higher court at the soul level. And the crime is being committed at the soul level. And the regular court, you exercise your freedom. Whatever you want to eat, you eat, no problem. Whatever happens to you, that's your problem, like that. So nobody's gonna punish you for eating, say, dairy products. But when you connect with your soul, now you're in a different court system. He says, you killed someone, you caused a harm to the animal, you made them slave. That's a different.
No, but here, the Dr. Shah, more than that, harming animal, you are harming yourself.
Of course.
How foolish you are. I mean, if you are drinking milk.
I want to understand the middle part of it about the Mahavir, right? Like, I was never in a favor of milk, but the society wanted me to have the milk. So I took, but that moved me to my journey towards soul, right? To understand what was the myth, why I was told, what was impacting. So it is going towards your true self. That is where I feel I have achieved. If I have done that, I have achieved that. Thanks for both of you.
You're absolutely
my
right.
answer of
Correct. Now, there is a individual consciousness which is in all of us, and there is something called collective consciousness, which belongs to the whole society. If whatever society is doing stupidly, everybody will do it. For example, at one time in Greece, they believed that women have less number of teeth than men. Just because they believed that men are more powerful and their ego support and all that, nobody bothered. It went on for centuries. They believed that all women have less number of teeth. And it's not true. They all have the same teeth. But what I'm saying is the society, whole society en masse can go in a stupid, wrong, foolish direction. And that's collective consciousness. And that's too good. It's worth 2 cents because you will become statistics. Not you, I'm just saying.
No, I understand.
So we'll become a statistics just like, sorry, we found out that this hormone does this. We found out, I'm sorry but you're already dead. There's nothing you can do about it. So meditation is all about raising your own consciousness and making your own decisions in life. So you already, by rejecting the milk, you were doing the right thing. So did I. Actually, when I was a kid, I didn't like drinking milk. So mom says, okay, no problem, that's fine. But cheese and yogurt and milk and ice cream and all those things are a different story. Milk presents itself in so many diverse ways. So they say, well, I'm not drinking milk, but you're eating cheese, which is 10 cups of milk equal to 1 cup of cheese. So cheese is there. All those things, fancy things keep on coming from society. So you will keep doing what society tells you to do. You will get trapped, but not to get trapped is the raising your inner awareness. That's all there is. So. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the
Thank you.
perception is a big plays a big role. How you have to, because whatever has happened, we can't change it.
Yes, correct.
But accepting it and not falsifying those beliefs that has happened is again fooling yourself.
Somebody is gonna come all along, like Mahavir himself. Before Mahavir came, Brahmins had taken over the country. And they said that they were the sole gods. We are the only one who can take you to gods. And this is where you have to worship, and this is what you have to do, so many mantras. Mahavir and Buddha said no. They were really the fighters. They fought the society and ultimately diverted that no, everybody has consciousness and everybody is a god within themselves.
But as Mark Twain says, it's easy to fool somebody than to pursue that you have been fooled.
Correct. So somewhere along the line. So we all, once we become a whole food plant-based diet, we go on and tell other people, this is how the consciousness manifests itself through the proper vehicle. Let us all become the vehicle to spread the truth. And we are saying the truth. There is nothing, nobody can object against it, right? So all these sanskaras, this Shankaracharya calls it, everything that comes from outside, evaluate with grain of salt. Just think either it is right or not. If your conscience says, yes, it is right, you do it. If it says no, don't do it. Doesn't matter. 10,000 people may be against you. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. Raw food is, here it is. Right?
Yes.
he made me eat avocados.
Thank you. Yeah. That was the experiment. I liked it.
It was okay. Half I could manage. I don't know about the whole. Maybe down the road. But I ate the skin and it wasn't so bad because I eat figs and all that anyway. I had to chew a lot. So this is my job.
Yeah.
So
And
think
maybe
it is I just eat. I like to chew.
right.
Anyway, so much today. And
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shah. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. And maybe next time we will discuss some other topic.
okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Food matters, but raw food matters.